Well, the wait is over. But was it worth it? Coach Prime promised us Louis luggage, but his new hire is giving me Amazon's Travel Pro. But before we get into it, do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, and don't forget to comment below. It's official. The Colorado Buffaloes has a new DC named Robert Livingston, who was the Cincinnati Bengals secondary coach. I'm going to give you guys a deep dive on his background. We're going to go from his college years up until present day. Robert Livingston, a William and Mary graduate who played safety from 2007 until 2009. He captained his senior year with 34 total games played, 92 solo tackles, 55% solo rate, and 118 total tackles. While his pass defense saw 12 disruptions, his career saw only 2 interceptions, 1.2 tackles for loss, no forced fumbles, and 0 blocks. If I had to describe his FCS collegiate career, I would say he was a little above average at best. Livingston transitioned from player to coach, starting with assistant stints at Furman working with the safeties and then moving on to Vanderbilt working in defense quality control. He then shifted to scouting for defensive backs for the Bengals in the Southeast for 3 years. In 2015, he moved back to an on-field coaching position with the secondary teams, focusing on special teams and quality control, eventually becoming the secondary coach in 2016, a role he's held for the past 8 seasons. One of Livingston's highlights was coaching Bengals Adam Pac-Man Jones to a Pro Bowl in 2015. He also developed Bengals safeties Jesse Bates III and Von Bell into impact players, with Bates even making second team All-Pro twice. As you can see, I posted some stats while he was the secondary coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. These stats go back to 2016. Obviously, he's been with the Bengals since 2012, but again, he was promoted to the secondary coach position in 2016. The numbers aren't bad, but they're not super impressive. When I looked at these stats and other numbers, I just thought, nah, this guy isn't ready for what we've got. I just think that what we need requires somebody with a stronger resume, and this man really isn't it. The stats weren't awful, but again, this guy is not giving me the game changer and difference maker Coach Prime said he was going to recruit for in this position. Let me give you a quick high-level overview of what I found. From an overall defensive performance, despite strong safety play, the defense as a whole struggled, especially against the run. Secondary depth, that's under his umbrella. Injuries exposed depth issues, raising questions about his backup development plan. Blitz integration. Some of his critics argued that the secondary wasn't always utilized effectively within the blitz packages, limiting their impact. Yards allowed per game. They were ranked below average in most seasons since 2016. Completion percentages allowed. Again, ranked around average most seasons. Touchdowns allowed fluctuated, with some seasons above average and others below. I'm going to end with this commentary about Robert Livingston. I am not excited about this hire. I don't think he's a fit. I think he barely meets the qualifications. He absolutely does not exceed the qualifications. I don't understand why Coach Prime really went in this direction for this guy. I do get it. He's in the NFL, but he's a secondary coach. He's never been a DC before. If you look into his background, he doesn't have a lot of knock it out the park kind of success that we need to really get us to where we need to be. He just doesn't have that. I think if you are a safety or a cornerback, you'll be happy based on his experiences, his coaching success. Everybody else, you should be scratching your head. I I also believe that maybe, just maybe, there are a variety of reasons why top talent stayed away from this position. Number one, money. I don't think we probably had enough money to pay for the right person that we needed. Number two, not being able to bring their existing personnel into this role. I know that Coach Prime has been adamant about keeping on his existing staff, which I think they're underwhelming and they're underperforming. I also think that was definitely a handicap in going after um, a successful person or a person that's really going to be able to make an impact. I also think that, a top talent, a top candidate may be camera shy. Not everybody wants to come into a role where they're going to have cameras on them. Even though, people do a great job editing, I'm pretty sure you may not want to be in a situation where you're being filmed all the time. Again, all that said, I'm just really, really concerned about this hire. You know, I felt like we were promised a diamond ring and we were given a cloudy cubic zirconia. Yes, I'm comparing Robert Livingston to a cubic zirconia that you probably get at Walmart or Target, because that's the energy this man is giving me. But all that said, do me a favor. Leave your commentary below. Like, subscribe, and click on that notification. And I am going to end with an interview done by Robert Livingston talking about his defense philosophy and managing personnel. Until next time, go Buffs.
To kind of get your bearings, and that leads to the college side. So now all of a sudden you've got all this time invested in, okay, hey, I've studied the league, I've studied the position, I know what it takes to make it, to be successful. What are the traits that are the same? And then you go to college and you're looking for traits, candidly. I mean, college football is fast, it's wide open. The hashes are obviously way wider. It's a different game right now. And they're doing some phenomenal things on offense. So they're asking guys to make tackles in space and to cover, and to look to the sideline and get a call. And there's a lot of things that are really challenging. So that's always a fun process as well. And then just to get to know the guys. The difference in free agency and college scouting is what we talked about before. In college you can go meet somebody and you have more of a relationship, I guess you'll say, whereas free agency, you make your calls to your buddies, hey, you coach Dave Lapham, what's he like? How does he learn? And you just kind of go from there. So there's value to both. But I do think that the time invested studying the players and, again, knowing what it is across the landscape of the NFL at that position really gives you a chance to kind of hopefully make the best and accurate decision possible.
Yeah.